Reggie Bush is joining us, 11 years in the NFL, iconic college career. Michigan hosting Ohio State. It's going to be lousy weather. Nothing hurts a great offense like crappy weather.
100%.
And you were a dome quarterback and a warm weather guy at USC, so you didn't have a bunch of bad weather games. But take our audience to wintry mix running back.
Oh, it's perfect for a running back. I mean, anytime you wake up in the morning and you see rain outside or you see snow, whatever it is, you know it's going to be a big day for the running backs because that's when we get to thrive the most in the bad weather games. You got to hand the football off. You got to run the football, especially if you're on the road, right, and you're in a hostile environment. You run the ball even more because you want to kind of take the other team's crowd out of the game, and you want to take the other team kind of out of the game as well with the physicality.
By the way, this is Harbaugh's best team, I'd make an argument. They've got 9 wins. They've only lost road games. Shea Patterson, I'm not sure if he's ever lost a home game. Can Michigan beat Ohio State? You saw the Buckeyes make some mistakes last week.
I did. And I think that had a lot to do with the bad weather, with the rain. The second half is where they started to really turn the football over. First half, it was dry. It wasn't as much rain. And then once the second half came, that's when you kind of saw some of those plays start to unravel for Ohio State. Justin Fields, J.K. Dobbins put one on the ground. And so I do believe Michigan can beat them. If we see a similar repeat of performance from Ohio State, from their offense, not protecting the football, turning the ball over, in their own territory, Michigan can definitely score some points, and their defense is playing well right now.
You were on some of the most talented college teams ever at USC. Is Ohio State in that class in terms of overall roster talent?
You know what? It's funny you mention that because last week in my notes, I was going to say this on air, and I didn't say it. I was going to say that I believe this Ohio State team could have played with our national championship team. I believe they're very talented all across the board. Obviously, Justin Fields is a problem. And Justin Fields would be Vince Young back then, right? They got a great defense, Chase Young, who's arguably the best player at his position, the most dominant player at his position all across the board.
Stud running back.
They got receivers that can get open in man-to-man coverage. I see a great football team, and I even said on the show, I think this could be the best Ohio State team ever assembled.
I think it's really good. Yeah. I think when you have these athletes now playing quarterback, it adds such a dimension. Matt Leinart was more of a pocket guy. USC at that time, the culture in football was have star running backs, star receivers, and pocket quarterbacks.
Yes, exactly.
The world is now changing. By the way, Auburn hosts Alabama. I like Auburn to beat Alabama. I really do. Yeah. That series has always been very interesting. Yeah. The at Auburn games have been crazy good. Yep. So are you going to if Alabama wins that game with a backup quarterback, we got to put him in, right?
Well, they would definitely. I think they would definitely. Who's Georgia playing?
Listen,
Georgia's playing.
Well, we know Clemson's in. Ohio State if they win.
Georgia doesn't have a ranked opponent, so Alabama could jump Georgia if they stay at the 5 spot. But the thing that's going to hurt Alabama is they don't play in the SEC championship game, so they're already out of it. And so that's one extra game that they're not going to get a chance to to make a case for them going into the playoffs.
I also think, Reggie, I want to reward programs that get on the phone and schedule tough games. Oregon scheduled Auburn.
Yeah.
So I want my gut feeling. My gut is I'm rooting against Bama this weekend because I want college football to be better in September.
Right.
And it's only good in September if you can lose a big out-of-conference game and still get in. Georgia played Notre Dame the last couple years. Georgia didn't have to play Notre Dame.
Yep.
So if it comes down to Georgia and Alabama and I was a go either way, I don't even care if you would have lost. If Georgia got on the phone and dialed a tough opponent, I have total respect for that.
It's the same thing Urban says all the time on our show. Teams should be rewarded for scheduling those tough road games, much like Oregon did, right? They scheduled first game of the season.
Auburn.
You're scheduling Auburn. That's a tough opponent. And then when you look at some of the other SEC teams like Alabama, where they're playing some of these FCS schools and they're blowing them out of the water by 60 points, well, I don't know how good that is for the sport, right? When you're picked to win a game by 50 points, is that raising the needle, right? Is that Are we catering to the viewers, to the fan base? And I don't think we are.
No, I mean, Alabama struggled to sell some of their tickets. I think the kids there are bored. They want to see good games.
They don't want to see them.
Okay, let's get to the NFL. Lamar Jackson, sustainable. I don't know. It's winning now.
Yeah.
It is crazy, right?
It's unbelievable. I mean, I was at the game last night.
Boy, the Coliseum was chanting MVP for him.
I was just going to say that. To hear the Coliseum chanting MVP, and you're on the road in another team's stadium, that was absolutely unbelievable to see. And I was actually last night at the game with Steve Bisciotti, the owner of the Ravens, and one of the things that he kept saying was just how much of a leader that Lamar Jackson is and how smart of a player he is. And that to me said a lot, right? When the owner is saying that about you as a player, when the owner is vouching for Lamar Jackson the way that he is, it speaks volumes to Lamar going to the lab in the offseason and reinventing himself. Because that's really what he did. He had to reinvent himself throwing the football.
He did. He admits it. He said first year it looked ugly.
It looked ugly. And to see the transition now this year, because a lot of people don't do that, right? A lot of guys will get the bag, right, get the big contract, and they kind of just keep doing the same things, hoping that it's going to work every year. But every year you got new players. Guys got more film on you. They know your tendencies a little bit more. And now you have to find ways that what can I do differently that's going to make it tough for defenders. And that's why Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, all these guys were so great because they did those things.
We're showing this to, sorry for our radio listeners, but we're showing some highlights. These are really good throws.
Oh, my God.
Now, wait,
these are unbelievable.
Now, watch this one, not this one. That's fine. But watch this next throw. Sorry, radio.
These are unbelievable,
now,
man. That throw right there.
There's a seam right here. Watch this.
Yeah, the seam was.
That's velocity in the right spot.
But also, he had one to end the first half. The touchdown he threw was a cover zero blitz. And so, for people back at home, cover zero blitz is when it's an all-out blitz and you're playing man-to-man coverage of every receiver. It's the same exact blitz that Jared Goff got caught with in the Super Bowl against the Patriots that ended up being an interception, and they lost the football game.
Yeah, so it's fun to watch. You know, the Coliseum, it was interesting watching it last night. You know, you had the stadium where you could still see the USC, UCLA markings.
Yeah.
It felt like half college, half NFL. Yeah. I swear to God, you were there, Reggie. 15 minutes into that thing, it was dead.
It was gone. The game was never close, by the way. The game was never close, and the stadium was dead.
What were before the game when Lamar came out? Were they all hooting and hollering too?
Yeah.
Like he's a movement now.
So much energy, the electricity, just the amount of people that want to see him play, that are following him, just the fan base. He is must-see TV right now. He is he is when you turn on the TV and then once the game is over, you're like, you want more. Like you want to see more. You can't wait to see what he's going to do next. And you know, that's what I tried to be in college, right? That's the way that I wanted to
give the fans a show.
I wanted to give the fans a show, and I didn't want to do it just for our fans. I wanted to do it for all of college football fans. I wanted to do it for my teammates, and when Steve Bisciotti is vouching for this man the way that he is,
it's really remarkable.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
It is a great show.
Yeah.
Reggie Bush, Hour 3 next. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.